Alright, so I'm here with Brian, my dad, and we're going for a nice drive. We've turned left off the Bruce Highway, headed south towards Brisbane, and this is the road that takes you to Bribie Island. We're going for a ride out to Bribie Island just to have a look, and we're having a ride along, and I've asked Dad if he'll tell me a story, and he wants to tell me about a fella that he taught to read in Wagga. Go ahead, Daddo.
Well, everybody likes to look back and think, well, what have I achieved with my life? And I can honestly say, at least I did one thing, and that was at the age of 7, I taught a 14-year-old how to read. And his name was George Grogan. George, this was 3rd grade at school, and George had been held back year after year because it was a denominational school, the Christian Brothers. Held back year after year because he couldn't read. And I was a pretty sharp little thing when I was younger, like that age. In fact, I became first in class, and there were 72 kids in it, so it's not a bad tick off. But the thing was, in 2nd grade, I'd been taught how to read, and I picked it up instinctively. But there were certain techniques which I forget now, but it was a number of knacks. One of which was, when you read, when you're reading out loud, you always read in your mind 2 or 3 words ahead or more. You know, if you can remember a whole sentence after what you're reading, it just makes the thing click. Anyway, I used these techniques to teach George how to read, and unfortunately George, at the age of 15, left school. It was the minimum age, and he actually became a very good racing bike rider at velodromes, and because he gained a little bit of fame in that, he opened up a bicycle repair shop. There were already 2 in Wagga, but he opened up one where there was some demand. And then I understand, it's only my understanding, that he bought one of these other shops as well. Then he wound up buying the next one, and he started to buy up little shops in places like Cootamundra, around Wagga, Cootamundra, Gina, in the Riverina. And I understand he was quite a magnate in the end, which wasn't bad for a guy who at the age of 14 could not read, and the age of 15 could. I saw him later when he was about 20, and well, I would have been 15 or 16, whatever, and he just did not recognise me, or refused to recognise me. I said, "Hello, George," and no, perhaps it was he didn't recognise me. Maybe it was some sort of embarrassment, whatever, I don't know. But to this day, George Grogan has never ever thanked me, but why should he? I mean, I got the thrill, and I still thrill with it, that I was actually able to teach another human being to read who hadn't been able to. Over and out.
Over and out. Bribie Island. Woo!